Let's get her started. What's up, YouTube? Today was pretty busy day, longer day. We were in the airport all day yesterday and hit shoulders today, so I'm a bit sore. My legs, also my left leg where I normally get the pain in my big toe, feeling pretty messed up today. So we are gonna get started with a recovery video. So I'm gonna run you guys just like with a flow that I'm gonna do that just kind of helps my body feel better. There isn't a particular name for this or like workout that I use it after. I'm just gonna be going reactively with my body on what feels good based on how I'm feeling right now. We're gonna get started with that. The first thing that I like to do is sit in the sauna for a little while, but I don't have anybody to film me and I can't take the camera inside of the sauna and leave it there, so we won't have any footage of that. I'll check in with you guys after this break.
A few minutes later.
Wasn't a super long one. That was just like 6 minutes for me, just to clear my head a little bit. So what I do recommend and why I like the sauna is it just gets my blood kind of moving, and it's a good place to clear my mind and think about what's going on, and then also just get closer to God, practice my prayer the same way that we practice daily to lift better, have better contractions as bodybuilders. Like, your mind and soul to me is also the same thing, and I'm just practicing trying to get closer to God. So if that's not your thing, no worries, I understand. I still got you. You can meditate if you're more comfortable with meditation as a practice. Personally, I do both, and they're intertwined because I'll focus on my breath a lot and then go into a prayer as I notice that my nervous system starts to calm down and I go out of that panic state. So prayer isn't your thing, then you don't have to pray. Would definitely recommend breathing in any case and kind of allowing your thoughts to flow, and then whether that's asking forgiveness from God or just accepting the things that have happened in the past in terms of a meditation practice, and forgiving yourself, releasing those from your conscience and allowing yourself to move forward with intention into the future. So that's personally something that I'm working on. I'm not the greatest at it yet. We're still working on it. It's been a long time since I've talked to God or felt like I've heard his voice, so we keep practicing. But now that I have done my daily practice there, I'm gonna go ahead and meditate a bit as well. So what I generally like to do is put on my headphones. So I'm gonna do that and then just start with some breath work. Again, the same thing, maybe like 6 to 10 minutes of breath work. I'd highly recommend that you follow along in your own way. You can do the same poses that I'm doing, or you can do whatever works for you. Personally, the song I like to listen to is Inner Bloom by Rufus DeSaul. Obviously this is YouTube and I can't put on copyright music like that, so I'll probably use a different song, but that's what I like to listen to. That's my song. It's 10 minutes long, so I usually just like breathe along with that until I feel my body starting to relax. So without further ado, let's get into it. Please feel free to follow along, and I'll just back up the camera and we'll get started. Let's go. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that. Can we focus? Yep, that's the vibe. I'm hoping this stays in focus. Please, bro. I really need assistance shooting. I'm not the best shooter. The best at shooting my own videos, so please stay in focus. If it doesn't, y'all gotta forgive me because I'm doing my best. So, yeah. Back it up, back it up. Alrighty. It's so low. I can't see my face. So, there. I stopped that was a solid 8 minutes after I started to connect with my breathing again. That's also why I like the sauna, because then when my breathing becomes like heavier and more labor, then it reminds me to breathe. So before I get into like foam rolling or stretching or anything like that, I really like to take enough time to connect with my breath. So when I'm telling you guys that I'm in the gym for like 3 or 4 hours sometimes, this is why. Because if I can't seem to find a way to connect with my breath, then I know that I'm not ready to start lifting. I know that I'm not ready to start stretching or even begin warming up, just because of how important this is to my daily practice with everything else. Like everything in May of 2021, it started with this, just lying on a yoga mat and learning how to connect with my breath, reconnect with my breath on a daily basis, until it became like an hourly practice, until it became something that's like on demand. When I notice that I'm stressed, now my initial reaction is more to like realize that like, oh hey, when's the last time that I breathed? So that's something that's really important to me for overall wellness, which is why I stress it so much. When you look at the abs, this is where it's coming from, guys. It's just like the daily practice. But yeah, so let's get into it. Like I mentioned, my foot is not feeling the greatest. Not sure why. It's pretty cold out today. I also didn't train calves, so sometimes when I don't train calves, then it gets pretty hectic for me, because yeah, then my body's just like bruh. Like it doesn't remember that muscle exists, or it could just be overuse from all the walking that I did today. We took a lot of steps going to and from the store a couple times, playing with the dogs. Yeah, so we're just gonna start. Like the main thing is I can just feel like there's a huge knot like inside of my calf right here. So I'm just gonna start there and start trying to release that, and then I'm just gonna go with my body and see where we go from there until the pain kind of like comes out of my legs. So from this part, I don't know. I might leave the audio on. I might cut the audio out just in case I need to give you guys some tips, or I'm talking about something. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna start working on my calf and we'll go from there. What I normally like to do is start with the feet, but just because the pain is so prominent in the calf, that's why I'm starting in the calf today, because of the way that my body literally feels in this exact moment. If the pain was starting from my foot or something like literally like anywhere else, then I would probably just like start from my foot, mobilize my foot. But I also already did that this morning on stream, so my feet are feeling pretty mobile. We're doing okay there, but let us readjust. We are going to pew, pew, pew. Put you guys. Are you gonna be able to see it? Put you guys right here. All right. So what I am, let me get framed up. All right. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just going up and down my calf a little bit, and then I'm really finding the part that's like hurting me the most right now. So if I already know, because I was the camera just slid down, but hey, we'll take it. Just go with the flow. So when I was massaging my calf in the sauna, I already kind of know exactly where the point is, so I'm well aware of it. When I commute on public transit, this is one thing that I do start becoming aware of the pain in my body, so that way once I get to the gym, I can just get right to releasing it and breathing through it, which is why the breath isn't so important, because now I'm gonna move, we'll back it up a little bit so you can see the full foot, because what I'm gonna do here is just start circulating, rotating. I'm not rolling back and forth like everybody does. If that works for you, more power to you. Doesn't really work for me. So I'm just gonna start doing one of these and tensing and relaxing. And that's kind of how I work on my knots in my calf, is just by doing things like this on the knot, as opposed to rolling back and forth. Like obviously that does feel good sometimes, but I don't really find like that the recovery and the release is enough for me when I just roll them. So I make sure to incorporate both, but for right now, we're just gonna show you a couple ranges of motion you can do. You can go back and forth like this. You can wiggle your toes, try and separate the toes and make sure you have movement. If you're finding that you don't have movement and you don't have much dexterity in your toes, it might be time to massage your feet, but I'm feeling pretty good in my toes because I already did that today. So yes, that is the calf, and that is where we will start. Alrighty, so for me personally, that released pretty quickly for me because I already had my breath pump. English is a very hard language. It's actually my second language. I don't actually speak this language. If anybody's watching this video, I'm looking for an English teacher. It's very serious. I could use the help, I promise you. Please, bro, please. As you can tell, I'm a very serious person. But yeah, so I was already breathing from the practice that we just did. So if you skip the whole part about breathing, let's rewind, go back to the beginning, practice your breath, connect with your breath, and let's focus on that breath while you're trying to release your calf if you're here for that. If you're here for another reason and you just came for the breathwork practice, go and apply that breathwork now into your lift as you go on throughout your day, your morning, your afternoon, your evening, whatever time it might be for you. Go ahead and apply that breath work and try some of that practice before you go ahead and do anything, any type of strenuous activity, any type of stretching. Just practice there for me. Promise that you won't forget to move. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Going to make these consistent, so once per week we're going to get you a video that has to do with general overall wellness. If you're more into bodybuilding content, you'll see more of that on my Instagram and TikTok. YouTube, we're going to focus on educating you guys on how I made a lot of changes in my mental health, in my mindset, and my overall well-being as an athlete, moving on with my life after COVID. So thank you for tuning in. I'm new to this, obviously, but thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitch. I got Twitter, I got TikTok. We have all of it. Peace.
7.